too even. It's kind of okay. Put some more light over there and a little bit of dark here, but I think this piece is too big, but it's short. It's also half dead. It's kind of interesting, just this little section up in here. I don't really even need that, maybe. But I don't want that idea being like that. Put these two things together here. Thinking of a little curvy kind of going in there, maybe. But then both of these pomegranates are coming out at us. So what if I turn maybe this? That's kind of an interesting thing. Maybe I want a little bit more. Problem is, this is already rotted in here. What if I threw in a bit of orange? Now I'm just making the painting more complicated, but it's kind of interesting. The orange on this wood is actually very pretty. I don't know, what do I think of that? Maybe I don't want to move it quite so much like that. I don't like this going straight into the corner there. I love pomegranate juice. That's actually kind of interesting. So let me take this, take a couple photographs. So now what I want to try is putting, instead of the light coming from the right like usual, put it on the left. Then I want to decide what lighting that I think I prefer. I tend to like this one as a tradition, but because I'm wanting to do something different, get out of the formula kind of thing, I'm thinking about using the big fluorescent light over there and then just making something different. But let's see what it looks like. So here we go right now. Okay, let's change out the lights here. So obviously it's a colder light. However, I almost wonder if I can see more potential, especially because I'm getting maybe a lot more reflection. I'm going to have to go back and look at the other one but this brighter light puts a whiter light. I get reflection from the pear, reflection from the orange. And I kind of like those two balancing out with this. So maybe there's something to that. Now, these are kind of silly, a couple little berries here and there, but, you know, would I want to do something like that? I don't know. Let's see. So the thing is, so I don't block your view. I'm not sure that I like the position, this being across. From that point of view back there, this is too symmetric, or too horizontal vertical thing. I like this diagonal that's happening, but it seems to be coming more at this angle here. Let me show you what I mean. So to get more of it to go there, let me try. I'm always afraid to knock things over. Let's put my trash can over there. And actually, let me get my footstool. Okay, so my first thing is going to be, I'm going to stick with this for a while. Okay, so that made the branch go down. I want the branch to stay up a wee bit. Let's put that like that. Or is that maybe too high? Maybe that's too high. Let's do something like that. And if I like that, I'm going to have to probably secure it, because in time it may actually fall down a little bit. I like it sort of framing the teapot thing, or whatever you call it. Okay, so from this point of view, it's still too vertical horizontal. I want more of a diagonal, so that means, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. Do I have it too zoomed in too close? No, I guess you can see what I was doing there. Gosh, maybe that's too low. But I'm getting more, I want this one hanging down to not look straight. So I just think that will break the energy a little bit. Maybe I can twist this plant around a little bit. So this clip on the right is not actually holding anything. It's just surrounding. You see, my models are dying the whole time I'm doing this. This was just probably why I'm stressing. Let's see, that gives it a twist. Darn it. Maybe I can clip it. Can I clip it at another position? Maybe this position here. I don't want that twisting up, do I? It'll be up out of the painting. I don't like that. I like that twisting down a little better. Maybe, but I really like the airspace that I had, and I'm not quite sure how I had that before. It's definitely not this point of view. It's more like I want it more this. So, maybe, did I do it? Did I do it? It's too high. So an interesting thing is, if I have the lighting like this, okay, so I don't really like that point. What I see is the pussy willow goes straight down into the point of this, and I don't like that. I feel like that kisses the energy away. So I'm going to pull this back, maybe put it behind there a little bit. See what I think about that. Well, first of all, that's a little annoying. I don't know that I want to hide that much of that handle there, because that's part of the charm of this little baby. Put a little bit of light catching right in there. And maybe I can angle it this way. But I don't know how this is going to kiss with that, you see. I want to show off the design of the workmanship of that. But I also... Let's see, of course, you know, this camera's at a different point of view a little bit, which is always an interesting thing. Let's try to put this up here. I would like to see if I could get close to you seeing the thing I'll see, but, you know, I'm not going to be able to stand where that camera is, so... So if I stand here next to the camera there, I think I'm happy with the little triad that's going here on the right. I'm not convinced about this. This seems a little strange. Maybe it needs to go closer in. And I like the pairing of 3, 2, and 1. I don't know why, but I find that mathematically pleasing this time, and I wouldn't normally have said that I feel that way. Okay. So my question is, I don't want the end of this to come down at the end of this. Right now it's a little bit in, but I don't want this point being exact with that. I'm wondering if I should pull the pussy willow over a little bit, but I'm about to hang the shadow, and you see, I don't want all the pussy willow, and even the background, I don't want all of that in. So I think I want to find a way to pull some of that pussy willow out a little bit towards us. Maybe it can be as simple as twisting the background, which I want without a dramatic structural issue. Maybe this line is a little bit dumb here. I don't know that I want it straight back on there. I kind of like the swooshy stuff, but didn't like how this did such a harsh angle this way. And it's all because of that point of the T being straighter up instead of just a flush pull. Maybe it's this that needs to, or didn't it? Just putting that extra pin in the back to get the fabric to stay up, pop that forward. That might have been what I was trying to do in the beginning. So, I might enjoy that. Maybe push this out a little bit. I can see this, and maybe this is an overlap. I don't know. Let me get back again. You know, because the overlap with the putting things in front or behind, everything's relative to your point of view, but also, so I want to cover up this foot, I think, for this. Oh my gosh, that's a juicy. I like painting the models and then eating them. That's such a naughty thing to say. Okay. I'm getting closer. I do like... Okay. This doesn't make any sense, and part of me wonders if I'm trying to cover the background from being the fabric and then into the wood. I don't know how to do that. But I feel like I want a wee bit of a balance between the pussy willow sections. Well, that going up into it I don't like. This shows more of a profile thing. I don't know. I mean, it could be I take that out. Let's take it out and see what happens. And it could be that I can find another piece that would do something that would intrigue me that I could add later. Or maybe I just like the simplicity of this. See, this is what's funny, is those might not mean anything to you. Get a little glare of light there, and then nothing. So if I left that like this for now, let's see if I can, I did pin this cloth to here, so I want to move it over to let a little bit more light into this because I'm about to drape it. You know, the thing is, do I want the red on that side there? Can you see? No, you can't see with my finger. The red on the side here, do I want that drapery to catch as much light as the pewter or not? Because, you know, right now it's like, I don't know. But I really like the fabric drape, and I like that little touch of green from the tassels right here on this side. I like that. But let me try. Okay. So I have a trash bag, a black, simple black trash bag. And it's going to be funny because it has a string on the bottom side of it. Eccolo. Okay, that's the bottom that doesn't open. And hopefully the string can help me carry it up. What I want to do now is I want to sort of drape something over. I've got a wire back there, but I don't have anything closer in. So let me put the footstool back so I don't fall on top of my artwork here. And you're not going to be able to see through my body, sorry about that, but I don't quite know how to do all of this stuff. But what I'm looking for is some sort of, oh, so here, you see this, that's what it is. This needs to come more forward anyway. So let me get back. What I'm basically going to do is take this piece of stuff here, just like I did with the paper earlier, the semi-transparent paper, but I'm going to hang it up here, and mainly I need to find the position that I want first, and then if I find the lighting that I want, then I can figure out how to attach it up there, okay? But there's no point in trying to attach something if I'm not sure where, because like I said, just even doing this, I realize I have to come. So what I want is sort of a, not a gradual gradation where this is in dark and that's in light and it's a line. I want something a little bit softer, which is why I need this bag to be distant from the subject, because the closer it is, the harder that line is. The further out it is, the softer the line is, okay? Just like distance sort of blurs things. So let me just give myself a hand right up there. Do you see the difference there? Get the light. So now the thing is that's bad is where I am, I'm not actually seeing how it would look from the perspective where I'll be standing, and that's a bit of a problem. Maybe that this bag is not big enough. Maybe I need to pull this forward a little bit more. Let's tuck in this corner across the easel there. I want some of this to catch the light, but not necessarily all of it. So, what about something like that? Is it too much in the dark? Maybe. I don't want an even black thing that's coming flat down, so what do I need to do? Pull it over this way? I kind of like some of those shadows of the pussy willow there. Do you see that? Let's see if I can push that up in there long enough to see what I'm doing here. I see some striations in the back there of that. I don't know. You can leave your comments in the section here and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so I do have that white in the background that I would want to distract for myself, but the thing is, I don't know that that's put enough shadow. I think I want more shadow in this area here, behind this. So this is coming out of the darkness. So, to do that, what do I need? See if I have a big piece of cardboard or maybe an actual board. Actually, here's a, oh, this is a bit heavier than I want to be lifting right now. This is a regular cookie sheet, and so what I want to see if I can block this light. Oh, wow, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? It makes a really, really dark painting. I'm still getting some of those shadow things. So the point is, what if I put this like, it's too heavy for me, I need something lighter. I can't extend that, but, you know, okay, so if I have a, I love this print. I just love the idea of a sculpture falling in love with his own marble and then bringing it to actual life. So I have this print here. So it's a lightweight piece of cardboard, and I just want to block the light in this corner here. Okay, so this is Kelly Borsheim again. I thought I was making a video earlier, but apparently I wasn't, so there's a lot of stuff missing. I went and took one of my pomegranates and opened it up, made some little pieces here. Sadly, I kind of like this triangular piece here, but it's actually started to rot right there, and I don't know if I want to be Caravaggio-esque like that. This pomegranate I've had for many, many years. It's dried and it's become even smaller than it was originally. But I kind of like it because it's also a different size, because all my pomegranates were about equal, all of them over there. So, anyway, what I had mentioned before is I kind of am enjoying the circular doom, 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 doom. They're getting bigger in size even as they go backwards, which is sort of contrary, but I like the circular effect that it's going to lead in, because this is the subject area, obviously, here. I added the orange in part because there's so much red here and there's orange in the scarf, and I thought it would tie things together, but also because it's a lighter tone and it kind of puts the eye right there. Also, this maybe it's a cherry wood, this red wood has a gloss finish on it, which really lends itself to making these gorgeous reflections. Can you see from the pear? This is not a Bradford pear. I'm losing my words. Anyway, it's a pear that's red. So none of them look particularly good in the grocery store, so it's sad because I've been trying to get good ones, and each time they go bad before I can. Pears really go bad faster than the rest of these. Anyway, I've been liking this diagonal, and I like this touch of green. And it's weird because I like it precisely because it's kind of at the edge as sort of an afterthought, which is weird because, well, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of people that study color stuff, and I like the fact that it breaks up this corner from being normal. I like the fact that it's kind of a busy area that leads into this calm area. When I was making the video, or thought I was making the video, I've been playing with the pussy willow, and I attached it physically with some clips to the back little T thing where I'm hanging the scarf from. And I want part of this to come out, emerge out of the darkness and the light. And also my main concern was I want this to sort of act like a frame for this piece here, but I do not want this to horizontal and this little section here, from that point of view there, it was looking vertical. I like the more diagonal stuff. So I've moved it around. Maybe I have it. I hope so. Anyway, there are a couple of little seeds here which may or may not make any sense to anybody. Maybe I won't even put them in. But you get from this fluorescent light that's overhead in my little room here, it gives a lighting from the direction of the left. It also lights my canvas. Also, it's the light that happens when I turn on at night, so it's a little bit easier, than this won't be working so much in the dark. But I also wanted to do a left lighting because the last time I did a right lighting, and I don't want to do this formulaic stuff. I mean, to some degree, it's formulaic because you're following sort of composition rules that you have in your head. But anyway, and I had this little piece of the pussy willow that I kind of wanted to balance something low for something high, but I haven't seen anything yet that I like. It all seemed too contrived. And the other thing that I'm not sure about is I don't know that I like the cloth just coming straight down and then emptying over. But I do see these pretty shadows that are happening here from this light coming this way. But right now what I want to try to do is another little pear like that. Right now what I would like to do is I want to hang, this is a garbage bag. You probably can't see it, but it's a small plastic bag, garbage bag. And I sort of have it tucked inside a brick at the top of the ceiling here, but I want to move this around so that it blocks. I think I need to close in this little triangular of light that you can't see maybe from that point of view. But what I want to do is sort of make this emerging in the light and this sort of go back. You can still see it, but it's not taking the star of the show away from this, and it certainly won't be lighter than that. So I'm thinking about the star of the show. This is a Broadway play kind of thing, and I want the attention to go right here in this area. But I want these secondary points of interest around so that you don't get bored looking at the painting, and you can your eye can sort of dance around with it. So anyway, this maybe doesn't need to be in the light at all. It just, you can see it, that would be great, but I want to control the lighting a bit. So I'm trying to play with shadows up ahead, and because the light is coming from this direction here, I really need to be blocking it before. And as I said before, if I put the thing that causes the shadow too close to the models, I'm going to get a straight line where it hits the background. I don't want a straight line. I want a fuzzy, gradual effect and a very soft edge. So that means that I need to have the thing causing the shadow further away from my actual setup. So I'm playing around with these kind of things right now. I need to take a break because my back... Anyway, check back later. Leave your comments, questions, and all that kind of stuff with me, and I'd love your feedback. Let me know if you have any questions about the thinking I'm doing on this, or if you have any suggestions. If you like something, if you don't, I'm okay with all that. So, okay, thanks. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but in that back angle between my canvas that I had on this side and a black piece of paper I put on a board leaning against the wall that way, there was a little sliver of light there earlier, and I found that it was a very distracting thing for me, that even though I know I'm going to be cropping it out and all that, I just decided to take a trash can and I went in from the back and I tucked it up underneath the board and then hooked it up onto the wire on the other side. So it's blocked enough that it's so much darker in tone that it doesn't bother me before. It was always this little big white ray of light that it was distracting. So I have cut that out. Now I'm going to work with this plastic bag right here on this edge here and try to get just around, right now you can see that the whole pussy willow is in shadow, and that's not what I want, okay? So I'm going to be playing with that, and you're going to watch what I'm going to do, right? Tape is not really so good, is it? So let's take a photographic image of this. Alright, now in the photograph I'm getting a lot more contrast because of the way camera interprets light. So I want to put more dark, and I'm also thinking maybe that the pussy willow now is still a little bit too much light hitting it. See if I can pull this down a little bit maybe. Now would that be too much dark, because it's, my eye tells me that that's too consistent of a darkness, and to be fair, if a camera sees it that way, yeah, so what I would like a little bit more dark on here and a little bit more light on there. Don't know if I can get both together, but this right here is what I need to lift up to get some of that. So what I want to do is tape up this plastic. You know, and the thing is, because this gravity's going to hit this at some point, I just sort of have this tucked over the top of this easel thing, rolled up against the beam of the room. But let's see if I do that. I can tape that up like that. The garbage bags are nice because they're so lightweight, they're a lot easier to attach. Now let me stand back and see. I'm getting a little bit light on the left side here. Do you see a little bit of that underlighting? And the rest of this is kind of going back, but you still get a secondary. And it could be that I could change that a little bit as I'm painting, that if I decide it's too bright or too low. Really rather enjoying that. I still don't like this so much. maybe I can just turn this where this stays in the background. I don't know. What do you think of that? Is that catching too much light in the back? Probably. I don't think I like that so much light there. And I don't, again, I don't know that I need that there, but I kind of, there's something that tells me I want some pussy willow repeated. I don't know, I may sit with that for a while and look at it, because when I remove it, I feel like it's the transition between the background and the wood. But I don't, you see, that doesn't really give me anything, does it? I see it there, but I don't know that it, I don't know. One thing I feel pretty clear on is this is extremely complicated to paint. There's so many objects, there's so much going on here, and I wanted this guy coming at me to see their little pomegranate thing, so maybe it got twisted in my working on the drape there. So I'm kind of going to do that. Yeah, I kind of like that coming at me, although maybe I should put it a little bit directional into the painting instead of just straight at me at such a place on the far right. So that might be a little nicer. Yeah, I don't know at this point, and it could be that maybe it's not this piece of pussy willow that I need. Maybe I can use some of these smaller pieces just to repeat something. I don't know. Let's see what we think of that. You know, because at some point, basically, I need to start drawing. That might not be so bad. But, you know, the problem I have with that is not so bad is not the same thing as it's good. You know? People always say, oh, it's not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, but that's not really a positive thing, is it? So, alright. I think I want to get started because I know the rest of these perishable models are going to die. It's going to take me a while to get all this stuff laid out and sketched out. So let me talk about the Campitura I put in an earlier video that I wanted a contrasting color because I don't want to do a traditional realistic, it looks just like a photo kind of thing. I want to do what I did with the pumpkin still life right before this because again I'm building on something that I'm experimenting with that a lot of artists probably already do, but it's new for me and it's interesting for me, so that's the most important thing that I have in this criteria. And again, when you set up your still life, there's no right or wrong way to do it. The more you set up something, the more you develop your own sense of style, your own sense of taste. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. Now, I took lessons on how to compose still life and all this stuff, but I'm also trying to break away from those because when you learn from a teacher, you get the aesthetic of the teacher. You do this so that you get ideas in your head about things that might look good together, the mathematical design that fits well with our brains. But at some point, you need to let go of all of that stuff. Trust that all of your education, all of your learning is here, because that's why you repeat stuff when you're in school or when you're doing your 100 paintings to get, you know, to the place where you feel like you're the master of your domain, in the words of Seinfeld. But you want to leave that and start working directly with your own ideas and your own sensibilities, because, you know, frankly, I love tenebrism, the light emerging from the darkness, but a lot of other people don't like such dark paintings. So that's okay. They don't have to like my paintings. I like them. That's the most important thing, because if I'm not turned on, there's no chance you're going to be turned on, probably. I mean, I can't really say that because, you know, let's face it, porn is boring to most women, but it works for guys. So whatever, Anyway, it's the same kind of thing with art. You're not going to touch everybody. Don't worry about touching everybody's soul. The people who will get what you do will really, really, really get it. And that's all you care about, because, I don't need to beat the horse dead. So I'm going to keep working on this, but I think at some point I'm going to decide this is what it is. Maybe I can add this later. But a lot of times as I'm putting the drawing in on the canvas, starting to block in the dark, the shapes. I'll draw all of this stuff and then start laying in some shapes, massing in some colors. As I go along through the process, things change. The setup may not change, but things change. Maybe this falls down, maybe it doesn't fall down, but each night that I go to sleep at night, my brain is going, and if something's bothering me about this, it's going to come out. It may not come out as soon as I see it, or it may not be that I've consciously seen it, but a part of my brain has registered it, and I'm going to wake up in the morning and go, I want to change that. I may not have the words for it. I may just know something's not sitting right with me. I want to alter this or that. Again, the more you paint, the more you sculpt, the more you do any creative process, the more your curiosity will kick in, but then also your inner critic will kick in, and you need all of those things to be able to kind of come to some aesthetic of your own. So I'm going to stop this for now and going to keep working on this because my models are dying. Okay? Thank you for watching. This is Kelly Borsheim. Leave your comments and questions and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button if you'd like to be notified of new videos that I put out. And again, thank you for your time. Ciao.